The Waking Nightmare event is coming. How can you get your Anti-Venom shards to get this highly anticipated character? We're going to talk about that. We got some official information that we're talking about, plus Corvus, Glaive, Farmable, and all of the rest of your questions from the mailbag. A lot of questions about Dark Dimension, guys. So if you're ready for that and a bunch more, find that like button and you know what to do. Let's go smash it!
Valley Flyin.
Ooh, hello. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Valley Flyin here. I am back. Welcome back to the Valley Flyin channel. I hope you had a great weekend, and I hope you are ready for Anti-Venom, ladies and gentlemen. Most people, including myself, think he is coming tonight. Could be coming tomorrow, though, so we will see. But regardless of when he is coming, I think the community is very, very hyped about Anti-Venom, and there are a couple ways that you can win your own Anti-Venom. The first is from Worldwide Nutrition. The link has been out for a while in the past few videos, so if you've not already entered that contest, make sure you use that link. Enter the contest from Worldwide Nutrition, giving away one Anti-Venom, potentially more, because there's also an affiliate link for Worldwide Nutrition, and for every $100 that is spent with that affiliate link, Mikey from Worldwide Nutrition giving away another Anti-Venom. So that is the first way. The second way is on the live stream the morning after Anti-Venom released. So if Anti-Venom is released tonight, Reminex is going to sponsor a giveaway on the live stream tomorrow morning for Anti-Venom. And if it's Tuesday, then it'll be on the Wednesday show. So that is what's happening, guys. So make sure you check out the live stream the morning after Anti-Venom is released, and make sure you enter all your information so that you could potentially win Anti-Venom from Worldwide Nutrition, and check out the links there. But let's get to this blog post from this past weekend talking about the Waking Nightmare event. Boom, here it is. Insomniacs wanted, guys. I guess you got to blitz really hard, not sleep or anything for this event. And it is the Waking Nightmare. Thank you guys for correcting me. It's not the Walking Nightmare like I saw from the data mine last week. Now, a lot of this information is exactly what we saw in the data mine, but let's check it out in case you didn't see last week's video and in case you want to get prepared for Anti-Venom yourself. So the Waking Nightmare is the event that you're going to be able to get some shards for Anti-Venom in. And there's a couple different ways. You have the Fright Light Orb, and this is the main place that you're going to get Anti-Venom shards once you're done with these milestones. So you open them up, you got gold geared shards for the character, you got other shards for characters with that limited time Mask Caper trait, and then you have Anti-Venom in there. So this is the main place I think you're going to get Anti-Venom. We also have a couple milestones by winning blitz battles, winning arena battles. So yeah, Insomniacs, Waking Nightmares, you're gonna have to blitz a lot for these. I don't know, maybe not. We don't know the exact breakdown of these, but that's how you're gonna score points for that. And yeah, you're gonna get Anti-Venom shards, Fright Light Orb fragments, and more. So yes, this event will be refreshing daily until the whole Waking Nightmare event ends. We also have these Lucid Dream raid milestones, and this is where you're gonna team up with your own alliance. So hopefully you're in a good alliance that does all their raids and does things to help you get these milestones. But when you team up with your alliance and raids with characters with the Mask Caper trait, which fortunately there are a lot of symbiotes with that trait, and you could get shards there, you get training modules, various things there, shards for the fragments for the Fright Light Orbs as well. And then you got the Night Terrors milestone, because you're gonna have to be blitzing all night to get some Anti-Venom. But by opening these Fright Light Orbs, you're going to get more Anti-Venom shards. So very similar to how they've done previous milestones. And we got a bunch of events here that coincide with these Waking Nightmare events. All right, Arena Store. Corvus Glaive is added to the Arena Store. That is very good. First of the 3 non-farmable Black Order members that were added. We're still waiting on word on Proxima Midnight. Call Obsidian. I think it's very likely one will end up in a raid store, one will end up in a war store, with a possibility of either of them ending up as maybe a character to be farmable in Doom Chapter 2. We will see. Let me know your predictions on where the other 2 members of the Black Order end up, but it looks like Wednesday is when we can expect a lot of these characters, and hopefully they'll still make good on 2 characters that are farmable per month, because Symbiote Spider-Man, in my opinion, not farmable at all. We have the Scientist Supreme Blitz coming tonight, and his second iteration of She-Hulk that I know you guys are excited for coming up this Thursday. Star-Lord event is coming back. one of the worst legendaries, but still a very good character, especially very important for newer and mid-game players. Once you start building up these other teams, this value falls off a lot. But if you don't have some of these other teams, like your Black Order, like the Symbiotes, some of these more meta teams, maybe you don't have X-Men yet, Guardians are still a very good team. And even though I don't recommend him for later game players, still highly recommend it as a character for mid-game, newer players. So Star-Lord coming back, and then milestones. They're not updating the milestones for this Emma event. But interesting thing here, they said we're updating these milestones. They said they're replacing the milestone orb fragments with these T1 ISO 8 fragments. And they say starting with the next Emma Frost iteration, which means, at least to me, that Emma Frost event is coming back. We decided to not make this change for the second run of the Emma Frost milestones. Now with Symbiote Spider-Man, they said very early on, he is having 3 milestone events occurring. They did not say that, but it looks from this blog post, if we're reading between the lines here, we're getting some changes in the next Emma milestone. This is in the second run of the milestone. So it looks like she's coming 3 times if we're reading between the lines on this blog post. So that is it for the blog post. Yes, Waking Nightmare looks like it's gonna be grindy, and hopefully you get all this stuff without having some nightmares and staying up, being that insomniac as well. But let's go into your questions, guys, and answer them all from the Discord server. Boom, first question. It's a longer one. And sorry for the long build up to my question, but here it is. When an ISO 8 recommendations for symbiotes in the raids, everyone seems to be either recommending the heal, skirmisher, striker build. My scream is currently at 70k, but can easily get one-shotted by Loki or Mystique and Ultimate 7. I'm running into similar problems. Scream, Emma Frost, very squishy. Even my Venom, which is supposed to be a little more beefy, is getting one-shotted in Ultimate 7. I think that's just how Ultimate 7.5 is. But even when she and Anti-Venom cut into the 90k range, it seems that they will still be vulnerable to the RNG of it all. I think I would agree with you on that. The symbiotes work so well most of the time, but once in a while they get one-shotted and have to reset the whole node. And that's been my experience so far. All my symbiotes are gear 14. Emma is gear 14 as well. So I think that is just how the node or that whole raid is. But at least for Anti-Venom, wouldn't a level 5 fortifier make the most sense for him? Symbiotes shouldn't have problems with enough team with heals, but you want to ensure that Anti-Venom has a big protection pool to withstand any of the RNG that is still be there to revive the other symbiotes. So this does make sense on paper. One thing I don't like about Fortifier at level 1 is that you're just getting a flat rate of that barrier that you're putting on your characters. But at level 3, at level 5, you're getting some of it based on the percentage every time you take a turn, the character's health percentage. So I think at level 3 and level 5, it may be good, may work well for this character, especially if he's not dying and can revive the rest of your characters. But because the cost of bringing a character from 3 to 5 with all their ions is very expensive, I might wait on that one. It may be the best one, but I personally am going to let someone else experiment with that, let them use their ions, and then let me know if it's a good investment or not. But yeah, that seems on paper at least to be very good. But again, I'm going to let somebody test it. I'm not going to use all of my ions. I think there's a lot of people in the community that are willing to spend their ions to test stuff. So I'm going to let them do it. But yeah, on sense it does make paper, but it's the healer still may be the right one to go. Now, what Reminex is recommending right now from Theory Crafting is putting the striker tag on him. So that might be another option as well for Anti-Venom when he comes to the game, hopefully tonight. All right, next question. Hey, ValleyFlyin, I'm stuck on mission 7-3 of Heroes. What team should I use to beat it? Also, can a 200k X-Force beat Heroes 7-4 through 7-6? Thank you for the advice. Have a nice day. All right, so 7-3 of Heroes. That is where you're using Hero City characters, and you have a few different options there. Now, you're not going to be able to run a full symbiote team because you got some villains on that team, but you still have Symbiote Spider-Man, and when Anti-Venom comes into the game, he will fulfill that tag. But as of the characters that are in the game currently, Squirrel Girl is a good option. Very low to cooldown heal. Getting debuffs off of your team is a very good option. Symbiote Spider-Man, if you already have him built up for DD3 for some other symbiote content, that is a character that is very good as well. No brainer. Miss Marvel is a very good character with that Young Avengers tag. If you're using Miss Marvel, Miles might be a good option as well, but I like Punisher there. He gives more damage versus villains. Ghost Rider, because he's gonna counterattack you anytime you kill somebody on the Ghost Rider team. So a few different options there, but I think if I had to go in with what I have right now, I would bring in Squirrel Girl, Miss Marvel, Punisher, Ghost Rider, and Symbiote Spider-Man. That is who I would bring. I'm not sure if a 200k X-Force team can beat Heroes 7-4 through 7-6. I mean, if you get some good RNG and the enemies just keep attacking Deadpool over and over, then yeah, you're gonna win because Domino's gonna keep bringing him back to life. You got some other good options there. I kind of like Falcon in that node because you have global characters and that heroes. Shuri works well. Yo-Yo works well. Fury, because he can summon characters. He has defense up. Psylocke getting debuffs off of your characters. So that would work. I think X-Force, you need some RNG. You're going to get a lot of turns with X23. So I guess it will be based on your X23 if you can use that. But you got some good options in the for those nodes, brother. So I guess it would be based on who is the beefiest character that you have on your roster. Valley, greetings from the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados. Having a hard time with campaign 7 nodes. It's like a global at the moment. So again, with global, kind of what you talked about the last question, you got some good characters. I don't know if the full X-Force team can do that unless you get really good with the RNG with Deadpool and Domino bringing him back to life. But characters I like Falcon again because of the speed. He does some pretty good damage. Shuri, defense up, healing works very well. Yo-Yo, if you're not bringing any other protectors, she can put defense down, or excuse me, offense down on the enemies, so reducing some damage. Fury, because of the defense ups that he brings, he has some healing. He summons other characters, and that could take some pressure off of your team. X23, I do like her in a full X-Force team, but I also like her outside of that if you have her built up enough. And then Psylocke could get some debuffs off the team. Those are who I would start with. Let me know, and if you guys have beat these recently, because I beat these way long time ago and the characters that I had were good for that time. If you guys have beaten this recently with some of the newer teams, let me know in the comments, and hopefully yes, you can give some advice to people that are still struggling with some of these campaign nodes, the heroes, the villains, the new chapters that they recently added. All right, next question. Before attempting it again, I'm uncertain about my character's readiness. I'm just trying to get Phoenix to the next go-round and all the legendaries. So yeah, as the recommendations are the same. Hopefully you do get Phoenix on the next go-round. And then if you pair her with Beast, yeah, you could use Phoenix and have her die and still get the 3-star in that node if you have a decent enough Beast, brother. I've been focusing on gearing up a team so I can enter DD3. The characters I'm focusing on are Phoenix, good choice, Colossus, Symbiote Spider-Man, Minerva, Hela, and Ebony Maw. Currently debating whether to take Black Bolt and Cure 14 is necessary or not. What do you think? I think he's going to make your life a lot easier in Dark Dimension 3 if you have him. Also, he's going to make your life a lot easier in other game modes. So it's not bad to take him to Gear 14. But I think if you're really looking to minimize the investment you want in your orange gear, I think you can eventually get through it. And now I say eventually because it will take a while. Minerva, Hela, Ebony Maw, I think those can still get you just through those cosmic nodes. Phoenix, Colossus, it's going to be rough, especially on node 7, node 8, but I think you can get through those nodes. You got to be careful on node 7 for all those Iron Fists. You want to make sure he's not struggling there with getting your special, getting your ultimate off. I think you might need another character for global though. You seem pretty good on your cosmic. You're eventually going to need someone else for city, but I think what I would focus on right now is global since you're not entered yet. Maybe a Emma Frost, maybe a Mr. Sinister, maybe an Ultron would work depending on your resources. But if you want, I would probably work on a global character before Black Bolt for cosmic because you're going to run into problems in global before you run into problems in cosmic, brother. Next question. Which character is taking longest to become farmable? Is it Black Bolt Widow or Red Skull? Wasn't Black Widow a premium orb exclusive? So she was farmable at beta. Then as soon as the global release happened, she became unfarmable, just added to the premium orbs, and was there until earlier this year, around February of 2020. She was added to the Heroes chapter that we just talked about. I think 7.3. So yeah, it took her almost 2 years to get added. Red Skull became farmable, or not farmable, but it was added as a playable character earlier this year. So I think Black Widow is gonna be longer. Red Skull, I just don't see his relevance even now. So I think they can make him farmable without costing themselves too much money. And I say they referring to Scopely, but yeah, Black Widow by far right now, and I don't think Red Skull is gonna last that long, as Black Widow did. Minerva, on the other hand, maybe. Next question, though. ValleyFlyin just started my DD3. My team is Carnage, Symbiote, Spider-Man, Minerva, Hela, and Taskmaster. I almost have Mr. Sinister and Phoenix at Gear 14. Any opinion on what other characters I should take to Gear 14? I have Shuri, Black Bolt, Ma, Venom, Scream, and Thanos at Gear 14. All right, so you just started. You have Carnage, Symbiote, Spider-Man, Minerva, Hela, Taskmaster. You're going to get Phoenix and Mr. Sinister. All right. I think I would be focused on either Emma or Colossus at this point. You're going to run into problems in global before you run into problems in those other lanes, those cosmic and city lanes. So I would focus on a global character. My top choices, other than Phoenix, other than Sinister, and you have Taskmaster already. It'd probably be either Emma or Colossus to help assist you, helping Dark Phoenix to survive a little longer, get her special, get her ultimate off, and then you could work on other characters. Shuri, I think, is okay, but I think you're going to be better served by getting a Colossus or Emma on your team before that. And then after that, you could focus on other characters like a Maw, like the rest of your symbiotes for those city sections. So go with either Emma or Colossus first would be my recommendations, just to give you some more help on those global nodes, brother. Valley, Big Van, just a question. I don't have Symbiote Spider-Man unlocked, but I have Carnage, Phoenix, Minerva, all tier 14, building them Colossus and Hela next. Which other characters should I build up for Dark Dimension 3? Was thinking Black Bolt and Emily when I get them unlocked. Yeah, Phoenix is a real good one. Colossus is a good one to help Phoenix. And let's see your nodes. You have global, you have Phoenix and Colossus. That is an area that you might struggle in because it can be done. It's just going to take a long time with just those two characters. So Emma would be another one I would recommend for you. Ultron, not specifically for Dark Dimension 3, but I think he has a lot of value outside of that game mode. So those are the two characters that I would recommend. And then for the cosmic nodes, you have Minerva, you have Hela, or you're building up Hela. Ebony is a good one when you get him unlocked as well. So those are what I'd focus on. And then your symbiotes. Hopefully you get Symbiote Spider-Man unlocked before you hit that city section and can build them up to Gear 14 as well. But symbiotes are going to dominate. But before symbiotes came around, Punisher, Ghost Rider just taking very long in those city nodes. We're able to get through it, but symbiotes are going to make things a lot easier for you, brother. You have a question. Just completed my second run of DD3. 5 red star for Ultimus. Where is he most useful? Should I stick with a Kree team or use him against any meta war opponents in a mismatch team? All right, so back in the day when people were using Ultimus a little more than they are now, the Kree, the version with Korath, Cyborg, Ultimus, and maybe Minerva, maybe some other characters, would counter the Asgardians. Now, nowadays, the Asgardians, there's so many ways to counter them. I don't know if they're really would consider them a top meta team because they have so many options to counter them, but they're still tricky to get around if you don't have one of these counters to them. So that's where I think he's best used, and I have not used him outside of that in mismatched teams. Actually, I don't really use him. I've seen him used in that team to counter that, but I haven't really used him personally just because there's so many other characters to build up. So when I finish my Dark Dimension 3, my second run like you, I'll probably start working on a Kree team, build them up as a secondary counter to Asgardians, but I think that's all the use that he has right now. Anybody that has a lot of buffs on them as a taunt, maybe like a Luke Cage, he's gonna be a hard counter to though, but yeah, I just don't see a lot of use for Ultimus. If you guys are using Ultimus very effectively in war or other game modes, let me know in the comments, guys, because I don't have a lot of first-hand experience with Ultimus. Trying to figure out whether I should take Colossus or Emma to Gear 14 for Dark Dimension 3 first. I think in terms of usage, Emma is probably my pick, Raids, Arena, but I want to make sure I'm not hamstring myself when I should take Colossus. So Colossus has been my pick to help protect Phoenix for a while, and he does a very good job of that. The thing is, I've seen some people in chat in the mornings on the live stream chat that say that you went Emma instead of Colossus, and they still had a very good time in, well, I gotta watch my words because I don't know if it's a good time playing through Dark Dimension 3, but we're still able to beat Dark Dimension 3 in a relatively nice time with Emma instead of Colossus. So I don't think you go wrong either way, brother. I think my second and third picks are Emma and Colossus anyway. So if you have that mutant gear, bring them both up. Emma's going to give you a lot of value in Raids and Arena, and Colossus is going to give you value protecting Phoenix for whatever mode you're using her in. So both value. I think I would still go Colossus first, although there are people saying you could go Emma first. So I don't think you're going to go wrong either way. I would do the next one after this if you're not saving all of your orange juices for Dark Dimension 4 when it comes out. Call me crazy, but I have 3 accounts. Oh, yeah. Craziness, 3 accounts, run all in Dark Dimension 3. My 3rd account is top heavy. Should I focus on balance or just build a meta team? So if this is your 3rd account, you should pretty much do whatever's going to make the most fun for you. Now, what I recommend for most people on their accounts, build your arena team, build your raid teams. That's where you should go really top heavy at the beginning. Make sure you could fight the battles to the rank that you want to get to in the raids, in an arena. And then keep them up with your alliance, whatever raid they're on, whether in Ultimate 7, Ultimate 6, whatever. I'm assuming they're in Ultimate 7 if you're in Dark Dimension 3. So if you could keep up with that and do good in arena, that's when I think you can start widening out your teams and going for balance. But it's depending where you're on that. So what I like to do, arena, raids, and then building out the rest of my teams for war. It's your 3rd account though, so I don't know if you need my advice. You've played through Dark Dimension 3 more than I have, and you built more rosters than I have as well. So, but that's what I would do: arena, raid, and then start to build out your roster. ValleyFlyin, hope you're well. Unfortunately for me, I have a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Nebula. She's one of my favorite Marvel characters. Scrappy kit that could be fun as if she weren't complete garbage, with other trash characters, including her sister, getting reworked soon. All right, so it's been speculated that some characters, including our Gamora, are getting reworked soon. Again, it's just rumors at this point. So hopefully Nebula is getting a rework as well. I think a lot of the people wanted Nebula Gamora to have some synergy with Thanos, but Thanos got his Black Order. All right, do you think there's any hope on the horizon for my angsty blue character, Blue Cyborg? And what do you think they should do with her? Should do with her, maybe bring Supergiant into the game, make a full Black Order team. Thanos could be a floater on that team to either get in an empowered state or use him with Gamora, Nebula. I think that makes the most sense. Or get a full cosmic team, all these trash characters, maybe give her the Ravager tag, put her on the Ravagers, because in the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie, she kind of was a Ravager. She was hanging out with them at least. So maybe doing that, put her on a Ravager team with Yondu, give her a rework, synergize with that team. That's the 2 things that I can think of off the top of my head for Nebula, brother. Hopefully she does get a rework. And I know when they're talking about all the characters, they wanted all the characters, maybe not meta, but at least usable. Right now, there are certain characters like the Ravagers, like the Hand, like Nebula, a few other characters that are just not usable right now. So hopefully they make good on their word. What is a specific? Why is it that Scoponex can't fix their visual bugs? In the Catalyst of Change challenge, tier 9 possible rewards for 4 superior health, damage, focus, armor, but they only give 2. Is it the same for tier 10? So honestly, I have not paid attention to that. Let's go in game right now and check that out though. Boom. This is what it looks like in game, and the Catalyst of Change, this one right here. I'm still not gotten that 3-star on the tier 12, but you're talking about tier 9. They're supposed to give 4. Yeah, not good if they're only giving 2. So hopefully I haven't been paying attention. If you guys are paying attention and looking at this stuff, let me know if they're only giving 2, if it's bugged. But tier 10 goes up to 12, tier 11 goes up to 14, tier 12 goes up to 16 with this, but I have not paid attention. I've been just hitting that auto button. Let me know if there's something going on with this, and hopefully we can get it fixed very soon if it's a bug that's happening, brother. Next question. Let's go back to the questions. This isn't a question, but wanted to say I love watching your videos. Give me and my son something to do together. Keep up the good work. Remember to smash it. Much love. Chicken Nick, thank you for you and your son stopping by the live stream almost every morning, guys. And thank you to everybody else that is stopping by the live stream every morning. We're having a lot of fun on there. All right, next question, though. ValleyFlyin, love your work, mate. Keep it up. Do you think Scopely will add an ISO 8 selection or rewards to a daily challenge? I think it would be cool if they gave orb fragments or ISO 8 section, not selection. But do you think I would be happy with it? The more ISO 8 we get in our economy, the less grindy that we have to be with our usage of that ISO 8 energy. So I think one day they will add it. They want to get more into the ISO 8 catalysts and stuff into the economy. So I think they will add that at some point. Hopefully it's sooner than later, brother. And I would love to see it. Not a question, brother, but how would you like Hella and Endless Gregs on your medical tier challenge? Last tier is broken. Can't post a screenshot here, but got Hella and 8 Gregs remaining. So I had the exact same way. And if you guys want to check out the challenges, all of the challenges, completed all of them at 3 stars, except for that Catalyst one that we're just talking about. Check out the videos, and yeah, in the video, endless amount of Gregs, and we're talking about that on live stream. So it's different when PvP content like Arena, like Blitz, where you're facing other characters that people have made, but in PvE content like these challenges, like the raids, like some other things, Dark Dimension 3, they don't always apply the rules. So I'm guessing they just didn't apply the rule for Hela for these challenges to make it a little more difficult. But it makes it easier with the Symbiotes because you got so many Gregs to kill with that. Hello, brother. Really enjoyed the videos. What are the Sinister credits showing up in the She-Hulk Blitz? So yes, they were showing up very briefly, guys, if you were not aware of that, but they got removed. So yes, maybe rewards coming. I don't know. We'll see what happens with it, but I don't think it was too game breaking that they will give out rewards for this, but I would like it. I like free stuff with it. Hope all is well with you. If you have 3 original symbiotes at T14, would you prioritize taking Scream or AV up to tier 13 or 14 first, just so we could get superior alien spores Blitz? Yeah, stock up on your superior alien spores, guys, because there's 4 characters that need that as a superior unique, and they're all pretty good, and you want to get them all built up as soon as you can. So stock up on those if you haven't been doing that already. Who would I prioritize, Scream or Anti-Venom? Now, it's a little weird because as of me recording this, Anti-Venom not in the game yet, but just based on their kits, I probably would go Anti-Venom. Now, I know Scream works very well outside of that a full symbiote team. When you have Emma as the 5th, we have X-23 as the 5th. There's a few other people as the 5th that makes that team work very well. So I know Scream works very well, but with that said, I probably would still go Anti-Venom because he's the healer of the group. He's the one that gets the debuffs off your own team. He's the one that revives your character. So in my opinion, I think that's a little more valuable. So I think Anti-Venom has a little more value, but that's based on theory crafting because as of me recording this, not out in the game yet, guys. See if you can mention to Scopely to add a Spectre tab for War. Would make it so much better to be able to watch the battles and see your defense doing works. I would love to see my defenses doing work as well. This has been brought up on the Mailbag channel. It's been brought up to the devs many times. It doesn't seem to anything that they're too excited about that's like on their top list of things that they want to fix. I would like it. I know the community would like it. At one point I was like, I don't care, but I would like to see what's going on in battle. A lot of times I'm sitting there waiting for my teammates to get done with their fights, and I'm wondering what is going on with the fights. How much longer do they have? I didn't like it back then. I would like this now, and hopefully this is something that they're considering adding at some point. What new team would you like to see in the game, and why is it Apocalypse and the Horsemen? I think you're being very assumptive with your question there, brother, but obviously mutants, so anything related to mutants would be good, including the Apocalypse and the Horsemen. I know Angel is a highly requested character, the Archangel version of Angel, not the one with the white wings and that headband and everything, the crazier looking that shoots razor blades. I would like to see him come to the game, but if we're not talking about mutants, not sure. I guess Hulk. We'll have to go with Hulk. There's been rumors of a Gamma team coming sometime in 2021, so that would allow us to take Hulk off the Avengers, use another character there. She-Hulk, put her on a proper team, not just one that's war defense based, and then 3 other Hulks. I think that would be my top choice, but I wouldn't be opposed to mutants or characters like Moon Knight, some spider characters. They're always fun as well. Valley Flyin, what ISO 8 do I put in Fantastic Four? How I will unlock Invisible Woman when she comes around. So if we're looking at ISO 8, I'm gonna have to go with the list that Remenex had and who he's recommending right now. And this always changes as they're getting more and more data coming in. Thing recommending Thing as a striker. He's recommending She-Hulk as a healer right now. Namor as a raider. Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman both as skirmishers. And Human Torch with that striker tag. And that's what Remenex is recommending. I haven't done a lot of playtesting on ISO 8 myself, so for any recommendation to ISO 8, I'm just defaulting to whatever his list currently is at, and that's where he has the Fantastic Four at, brother. Next question. Could a petition get them make war abilities good for defense and offense as sex being restricted on who to have where? So I would like this. I think the community was really wanting to have war abilities to be active in other game modes, especially Blitz, that we could test out these things, but with the addition of Sinister 6 just having war tags, the Wave 1 Avengers just having war tags, not offense, not defense, I was hoping they would add more just war stuff. to newer characters, but then we got She-Hulk as a war defense character, so who knows? But I would like them to just be war, just like you said, or war and blitz or something like that. I think it would add more versatility to characters and be able to use some of our more obscure characters, especially our war D characters that really don't get used a lot. Next question. Word up, ValleyFlyin. I get annoyed when the chat announces every time you use 7-starred or T4 character's ability. The last row is announcing to my alliance mate, I just hit 2 million in gold. Do you think there should be a mind your own business option in the advanced tag section? Have you heard Scoplay? This is like a blabbermouth, obnoxious. All right. So this is not something that I personally see too much. Most of the time, I'm keeping my chat off. My alliance chat and my global chat. I communicate with my alliance in Discord, so I don't notice this too much. But for someone that keeps it on, for someone whose alliances doesn't communicate all that stuff, it can be valuable. I think some people want to brag, but having that option to turn it off, to remain a little more incognito, and then have that option for the people that want to brag, they can do that thing too. So given that option, like you mentioned, I think would be the best scenario for both types of players, brother. Valley, what are your thoughts on potential battle pass rumors? Personally, it doesn't bother me too much. As a player that is happy to spend a few dollars a month on MSF, I don't see an issue with it. Even if you don't buy the paid version, you still get the free stuff. So let me address the rumors. I have not seen any rumors as far as data mines, anything official come out as far as a battle pass, or any of the unofficial rumor sources that I hear things from time to time. Not heard anything about a battle pass. Now, I did see stuff on Reddit that it was data mined, but I have not seen those direct data mines, so I cannot comment on it firsthand. Now, I can comment on how it has worked in other games. And what it is kind of like milestones, that where you achieve certain milestones, you're getting rewards, but with a battle pass, you get those free rewards and you're getting something extra. And usually that something extra is pretty good to equate for the value that you get for this battle pass. So if it's like a 14-day calendar or something, instead of just get the normal stuff through your normal play, hitting these milestones, you're also getting some additional stuff. So like premium things like more cores, maybe some red star promotion credits, things like that would be in a battle pass for this game if it was equatable to other games. So would I like it? Would it bother me? I don't think it would bother me as well, because yeah, like you said, players are still getting rewards. There's players that can spend a little bit of money, and in other games it hasn't been very expensive. It hasn't been crazy amounts, which is why it kind of makes it appealing for players that spend money, for the little dolphins, for the little guppies that spend money. This usually is a pretty good deal as far as what I've seen in other games, but who knows? Who knows what will happen if it'll come to Marvel Strike Force. I know they're talking about subscriptions for over a year before they finally showed up in games. So even if this is data mined, yeah, it could be a while before this is added, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, but that's me as someone that spends money on the game. All right, ValleyFlyin, I'm new to Discord, and I really enjoy the content you deliver. I should have 2 to 3 T4s available for Anti-Venom when I unlock him. What is the order you suggest I use them in? I'm planning on putting all T4s when I get enough. So I'm in the same situation as you. I'm going to do all 4. The only question is what order I'm going to do them in. So the order that I think I'm going to do the T4s for Anti-Venom when he comes out, ultimate first, then basic, then passive, then special. That's the order that I'm doing it in. So that's the order I recommend. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to be doing all of them. So if you're going to do all, I think if you're doing 2, you go with ultimate and basic first. And then if you got 3, I would probably go ultimate, basic, passive. I think special is the one that you could skip on if you're really T4s in a T4 crunch. So, but yeah, basic, ultimate, and passive are the 3 main ones I think I need to do. And then if you are struggling for T4s, you can skip on that special for a little bit. With what seems to be the Black Order becoming farmable, do you think this is pointing to a meta shift? And if so, any predictions? Symbiotes or Spider-Man symbiotes or something new? So I think the symbiotes, it has been theory crafted by some players. I think the turn order lines up exactly to counter the Black Order. With a lot of things theory crafting, sometimes things work, sometimes don't. Sometimes there's bugs that cause things not to work properly for a little while. So again, we're gonna have to see once the symbiotes comes in, but they could be the potential next team replacing the Black Order. It could be the rumored Quantum team. It could be some other team on the horizon. But yeah, I think I think the offers aren't selling as well as they used to, so they're moving on from the Black Order to another meta and potentially the Symbiotes. We'll see what happens when Anti-Venom is released and see what bugs we may have to overcome when he is released. Greetings from the Philippines. Which character should I use my silver promo credits on? Upgrade Phoenix to 5 red stars or get Emma to 4 red stars, potentially 5 when I can. There's been some discussions on whether Phoenix should have red stars or not. Would love to hear your opinion. So Phoenix, that's a double-edged sword to give her red stars, because with normal Phoenix, it helps her survive longer, and you don't want her to survive a lot longer. You want her to die so it's kind of hurting normal Phoenix, but it's helping Dark Phoenix once you get into that Dark Phoenix form, giving her more damage on her ultimate. Her special is percentage based, so it doesn't help the special, but it helps with her ultimate, helps with her basic. So not the most highly recommended character to get to spend promotion credits on. So if those are the two options, my choice would be Emma Frost right now for that usage, because I'm using her all over the place. That may change when Anti-Venom comes in, but I'm using her all over the place now. ValleyFlyin, do you think they will add Blade and Morbius in order to create a vampire tag for Halloween? I think that is very, very good potential for that next Halloween. I don't think they're going to do that this Halloween. Yeah, it looks like they have all their events set up with Anti-Venom related stuff for this year, but Blade movie rumored to be coming, or is coming out sometime, not sure the exact date, so it's likely that he will get a spot in that. Same thing with Morbius, and then next Halloween. So those are the 3 options. Blade movie, Morbius, I think he's a bad guy. I can't remember what movie. Maybe it is the Blade movie, maybe it's another movie, and then the next Halloween. Those are my 3 timing things for these characters added, and maybe a nice cool event for next Halloween. Hey ValleyFlyin, I got 2 questions. When are you going to record the video of Cerebro answering questions? Not sure. I sent the questions last week, the earlier part of last week, and I heard back from on Fridays, so we'll see. I think he still has to get all the questions to devs, see what he can and can't answer, and maybe get the answers to some of the questions that you guys asked. So I'm expecting it within the next 2 weeks or so, but again, it's going to be up to Cerebro's schedule. I think his schedule is a little tighter than mine. Next question. I need to farm Karnak shards for Mob, but I'm stuck in node 1 of villains. Would love to farm Teenage Warhead for Doc Ock. So you don't have Doc Ock, so I'm going to say for that first part of villains, you have AIM, Hydra, and Sinister Six. Without Doc Ock, I probably would not recommend Sinister Six. Hydra is okay, but I think I'm going to go with AIM as far as a recommendation. Hydra seems a little better on war offense and war defense if you have Namor. Not Namor, Zemo and Red Skull. But yeah, if you don't, all of the Hydra is all of the AIM is farmable. I think that's the way to go for the earlier stages of that villains campaign. You have some decent options in the Mystic chapter. You have Mystic villain characters, and you got a couple good options. Thanos is one of them. He's very beefy, hard to get around. Mordo is another one with his blinds, his stuns. Ronan's pretty decent. He can remove debuffs from your team. He summons more Kree characters. Another good option is Loki if you don't have some of the more traditional characters as well, because he places enemies as stealth. Nobu, you're gonna have to build him up anyway for Phoenix, so maybe you're already building up Nobu. Not a very good character, but he has a nice passive that he could revive characters, bring them back to life. So that's who I would go with. And then obviously, if for some reason you have Maw, if you have Hela, use them on the nodes. But that's who I would use for the villain campaigns. And heroes, you got a few different options there. But Nexus, you got Minerva, Guardians, Captain Marvel for the later stages of that. So yeah, hopefully that helps. If you guys are using some other characters for villains, Nexus, let me know in the comments, guys, and hopefully we can help the community out, get everybody through these game modes. Reaching out from Oregon, what is up, brother? Just started the global nodes for DD3. Was curious if any T4s would make a priority on the legendary Shuri. I'm considering her ult, so I put a couple T4s into Shuri. One was her passive, and that was mainly to help the Asgardian team, or excuse me, the Wakandan team way back in the day. It also helps her in the raids get a little more speed, so she get the defense up earlier. The ultimate is a good one because you're getting another extra round of healing. So if you were to consider any of them, I would consider the ultimate and the passive. I don't know if I would do it just for DD3 though. If you're getting a lot of use for Shuri outside of that game mode, then yeah. But you know, eventually you're gonna get through Dark Dimension 3. It's just a matter of time. And the T4s, you could either spend another character that you're using more, or you could use it on Shuri to help you get through this game mode. I don't know if either is wrong, but it depends on what you have prioritized. What is good, brother? Thanks for answering my question earlier. I have a bit of habit of writing walls of text. Love that one. I'll keep this one simple. Thank you, brother. Notice Hela's node. I can really focus on Asgard. I've unlocked Hela's node. I can really focus on Asgardians. What are the most important T4s? I've got a precious few. Not sure. Oh, let me go back to the question. I've got a precious few. Not sure about Hela's passive since I don't use mine on defense, but others look good. So Hela's ultimate, I think, is the best one of the entire team. I like her special for the 2-turn disrupted, but I did that back when I was using her a lot in the raids. Her passive is also good for ward defense, but if you're not really focused on ward defense, probably don't need to do that one. Thor, I've skipped all of his. You can make an argument for maybe his ultimate, maybe his passive, but I have not done any of them, and they're still a pretty good team. Heimdall, if only for ward defense. If ward defense is not really that important to you, you don't need any on Heimdall, but if war defense is important to you, his passive is really good. And Loki's special is pretty good as well because you're getting 2 enemies that are mind control instead of just 1. And then his ultimate giving stealth for 2 turns for war defense is good. But again, those are war defense. So if taking war defense out of it, I think you go the Hela ultimate and the Loki special. I didn't put any on Sif either. So I think if you want to go bare minimum, you could go bare minimum with Loki special and Hela ultimate. Next question. Hey, ValleyFlyin, fist bump from London. What is up, brother? Hoping to sneak a question in this week. How are you using your cores to maximum effort on the Scream event? I'm not sure I'm doing the max or doing it effectively right now. I just maxed out every node on the hard once. Should I be doing more? Started with over 3,000 cores down to 2,000. This includes refreshing campaign nodes to ensure I hit my daily keys. So what I'm doing, I'm making sure I get all the 50 refreshes as soon as I start the day, whenever that is, either at reset at 1 a.m. my time or whenever I wake up in the morning. 50, 50, 50. That's 200 cores spent right there. And I just go all of those nodes that I get with that 400 energy. Now, I usually end up doing, by the end of the day, all of the hard nodes and then maybe going into the mediums, but I don't refresh any of the nodes in the hard section. I just refresh my energy. And then once I got all the energy, I drop down to the mediums. Now, once in a while, I will dip into the hundreds, but that's normally when I don't claim all my energy or I don't have a chance to play as much and I'm getting my energy topped off and I'm not able to hit all those hard nodes. That's when I'll dip into the hundreds. But I want to make sure I hit all the hard nodes at least once every day, and then the extra is just all those medium nodes. That's what I'm doing. If you guys have a better strategy, let me know in the comments though, because yeah, Scream, very important character, and you guys should be getting as many shards on her as possible. What is up, ValleyFlyin? How are things going in Texas? Last minute question, but simple enough. Currently farming my first ISO 8 level blaster. When I get the match, should I pick Black Bolt or Ultron? I use them both every day. Black Bolt has more overall value, but Ultron gets a little more value because of ISO 8 in my opinion. So this one's going to come down to usage for you. I think I would rather have my Ultron up to level 5 before Black Bolt. Now keep in mind there are some bugs going on with ISO 8, so you may want to hold off on everything. Just save your ions until there's a definitive answer. But I think my first blaster will be Ultron. My second blaster will be Black Bolt. And that may be it. I don't think you go wrong with either one except for the cost of the ions. So make sure that you know you're dead set on the class that you're going to use. I think both of them both benefit from that striker class. But yeah, I think I would go Ultron then Black Bolt for this question. ValleyFlyin, I'm wondering how the healer class works with characters who heal themselves with their passive. It doesn't help too much. I've had 7 red star Captain Marvel. Want to make the healer insane, but don't want to waste the ions on her passive. It doesn't count as active healing. Yeah, it's not active healing. It's passive healing because it's not a skill that's doing the healing. So all the other stuff she'll get, if you still want to do that, bring them to level 5. On that you can. It's a very big use of the ions, but yeah, she's not going to get any of the active healing bonuses because her passive is not active healing. So keep that in mind. Yeah, and if you still want to do it then and you still see the value, then do it. But if you don't see the value with that removed, then save it for other characters, brother. I think she's a better striker than a healer, actually. Greetings from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Currently working through the last 2 cosmic nodes of DD3. We'll be tackling the city node soon. My Black Order is all gear 14 and they're crushing cosmic. Nice. Symbiote Spider-Man Carnage ready to go. I have almost enough to take another symbiote with me between Venom and Scream. Who would you recommend? Both of mine have 4 red stars, 1 gold star difference between them. Venom is 7 gold, Scream is 6 gold. Scream seems better symbiote overall, but would Venom's defense make him a little more useful in DD3 than Scream? Also, what other characters do you think was Gear 14 worthy of DD3? So if you're not going for symbiotes, I think the best one outside of symbiotes for DD3 is Ghost Rider. So if you have enough mystic gear, you don't have enough bio gear, you don't have enough of those alien spores, I think that is a good option. Now, between Scream and Venom, I have first-hand experience with Venom in that in those nodes, and Venom, Spidey, Carnage, I know they could one-shot those nodes. I think Scream does have a little more value outside of that particular game mode. And with that said, I think I'm gonna go with the sure thing though. Recommend Venom on this one. I don't think Scream is bad. I don't think she gives the option. With Venom, you have heal blocks, you have the ability to flip buffs, you have the ability to spread buffs with Scream. You also are removing buffs with her basic. You have some offense downs, which might help to keep you alive longer. You have disrupted that she can apply. So it may be depending on the node, but I think I would go Venom first just because I know he's a sure thing. But yeah, I wouldn't be mad if I had Scream up at tier 14 before Venom. I think eventually with the power of these symbiotes, you're going to take them there eventually anyway. So I don't think you go wrong either way, but I would say Venom because I know he's a sure thing. And he is a little beefy. I know once in a while in Ultimate 7.5, even at Gear 14, with these stars on both those characters, Scream still gets one-shotted. Venom gets one-shotted less, but Screams gets one-shotted a little more often. And with that in DD3, I think Venom's going to give you a little more value. But yeah, get both if you have the resources, brother. ValleyFlyin, hailing from the city of brotherly love. What is up, the kid? First time asking here, so not sure if it's just me, but what new team release would be galactic bound? The way Captain Marvel has a home, this could be changeable, but let's say you have Captain Marvel, Nova, Adam Warlock, Super Skrull, Beta Ray Bill. Some other ideas would be Gladiator, Quasar. Since they're both alien warriors, you could introduce Kid Nova and have a complete Avengers team. That would be 2 teams for 1. You could do that, and then let's not forget about the characters that were mentioned earlier, the Gamoras, the Nebulas that are just kind of crappy, that would also fit with a galactic tag and make them usable. That's an option as well. But yeah, I think it could be. I think Nova has been rumored for the Adam Warlock has been rumored for the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie whenever that comes out. So I think it's likely at that point. Maybe Nova at that point as well. I haven't heard anything about Super Skrull, although in the art book they were deciding between Minerva and Super Skrull, and I think they went with Minerva instead. So they were at least thinking about Super Skrull at one point. Haven't heard too much on Beta Ray Bill, but all of these teams, all of these guys are options for new characters coming to the game. And if it makes characters that we have in the game like Nebula, Gamora, usable and not just trash, I would be happy with it. All right, and that is it for the questions this week, guys. I want to thank each and every one of you that left a question on the Mailbag channel on the Discord server. Whether a question got answered or not, I want to thank you for leaving that question. And if you want a question potentially featured in an upcoming episode of the Monday Mailbag, make sure you are a member of the Discord. The link is in the description. Go to that Mailbag channel, leave the questions there, and I look at it the Monday or the Sunday before the Mailbag is released. So there's some time that those questions will be sitting there. So you got time for next week. So make sure you guys are going there and make sure you get your Anti-Venom, guys. Couple ways to win. The first, like I said, is from Worldwide Nutrition. The link is down below. And the second is from Remenex. That's going to be done on the live stream the morning after Anti-Venom is released, which probably is going to be tomorrow, guys. So that is it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it helped you answer some of your questions. And if you did enjoy it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys. All that usual stuff. Subscribe, like, leave a comment, share this with your friends, smash on the notification bell. Check me out on live stream every weekday morning, guys, and potentially winning Anti-Venom from Remenex. Give me a Hulk fist bump before you go. ValleyFlyin out!